Coach Grant said at some point he's gonna ask you for like 10 of your favorite plays, the ones he knows you're most comfortable with. Do you have those in your head already? The ones that you really like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've already been talking about some of that stuff, like with Coach Hinshaw and our quarterback meetings and stuff, like just going over film and what we think we're best at and what will work in the game. So we definitely thought about that stuff. So yeah, for sure, have some of those plays in my head, definitely.
Drew, what do you think you all got out of camp?
I think we realized that we can be consistent. This was definitely the most consistent camp that I've had since I've been here. I mean, every single day. I don't think we really had a bad day. Maybe one, but if that, we bounced back right after the next practice. So I don't think we really had many bad days, and we just got to carry that consistency over into Saturdays and translate what all the work we've done all off season in this camp to Saturdays and games.
It probably feels like forever since that Saturday scrimmage, but what did the first team offense sort of learn about itself after those struggles early?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Really, the main thing was we did pretty good. We were driving the ball, and then, on third down, our third down percentage wasn't as high as it was the first scrimmage. I know the first scrimmage we did really well on third down, so we just missed on some third downs. But other than that, I feel like we had a really productive scrimmage, and we got a lot out of it, learned a lot. So people were making big plays, so it was definitely a good scrimmage. But yeah, that was just the difference between the first one and the second one. We just needed to convert on some third downs in this most recent one.
He mentioned that you've got a really smart O-line in front of you. How does that help a quarterback?
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, those guys have to make a lot of certain calls, on like run plays and stuff like that. And, they work together as a unit, really well, all those guys. And it's good, when Coach Schlarman or Coach Grant or whoever interchanges the offensive line, maybe switches up someone at guard or tackle or puts someone else at center, just in case, worst case scenarios, they still have the communication. It's still really good. So I think all those guys have a great relationship with each other, and it definitely helps me out a lot knowing that I can trust those guys making the right calls on runs and stuff. So it helps me out a lot.
How have you seen Ross develop?
K1? Yeah, he's done a great job. I mean, physically, he's a beast. Haven't really seen a receiver like him. Obviously Dorian looks just like him too, but K1's probably a little bigger, so it's even crazy to have guys like that on your team that are just that big of targets that you can just really use them in the red zone and really just big bodies. And the thing with K1 is he can really run too. I know in the scrimmage we had a touchdown to him, and he had like a 30-yard run after the catch, and no one caught him, so he broke a couple of tackles. So, he's just really good, and it's great. He's a great addition to our team.
Drew, have you been able to tell the depth at receiver has really pushed those guys and held them a little more accountable?
For sure. I mean, a lot of the new guys or young guys coming up have really pushed the guys that have been playing, like David Richardson, Jabari Greenwood, K1, all those guys, even like Charles Walker, David Bouvier, those kind of guys have even pushed everybody. So, the level of play has definitely, raised in that position group. And I think the depth is, really one of the main things that I saw this whole camp. I mean, even when a two receiver had to go in there, they were making just as many plays as the first string guys. So like I said, we just got to keep carrying that over into Saturdays. And, it definitely keeps those guys more locked in because they know if they have a drop or mess up, that, the backup's going to be going right in.
How have you seen Steven Johnson progress since he got here?
Yeah, Steven's done a great job. He had two good scrimmages this camp. He's done really well. He's accurate. He's got a good skill set where he can run too. He makes good decisions. So he's done a great job this camp. And he was a great addition to our team. He's a really good guy too. So I love having Steven around, and all the quarterbacks as well. They've all done a great job this camp.
How much quarterback run do you anticipate you doing this year?
I don't know. I think it might just depend on, like what I guess the scheme is. But pretty much on all of our run plays, it's a zone read, so I can run it basically on any run play we have. So, any given run play, I can pull it and run the ball. So it would probably just depend on what the defense is doing.
Yesterday during practice, you completed a ball to Garrett Johnson. Coach Hinshaw kind of went crazy. Is he that excitable during every practice?
Yeah. I mean, he loves seeing those big plays. He always yells boom after we make big plays. So, he definitely is that excitable. But, he really just harps on us. You know, when he makes a big play, he's going to let us know. And like I've said before, you know, if we have a bad throw or a missed target, he's going to let us know then too. So, you know, he's always on our butts, and you know, really never gives us too much praise, but you know, really just does a good job of making sure we keep level-headed. But yeah, he definitely gets excited when we make big plays for sure.
He said at some point you guys start to tune him out a little bit because of that. Have you learned to kind of find the balance there with him?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I like how hard he coaches us. You know, it really just makes us strive to be better, and you know, it's really just great to know that he cares that much about us. I mean, you know, the old saying, you know, if no one's, you know, trying to coach you, then, you know, you don't really matter. So just to have him, you know, coaching everybody so hard, you know, you can really tell that he loves coaching and really cares about all of us. So, I mean, I don't know if we're like tuning him out, but, you know, we've kind of learned how to maybe, you know, keep things in the back of our head or something like that. Yeah.
Now that you're into game prep, is there anything specific that you're going to really concentrate on between now and September 3rd?
No, just really just studying the game plan hard, watching a ton of film on those guys, just learning their personnel, stuff like that. But really just more like mental stuff. You know, obviously we need to, at the end of camp, you know, everybody's got to get their legs back. We've been having a bunch of two-a-days and stuff, so also just getting our bodies prepared for the game as well.
Everybody good?